Hey, my good people, you already know what time it is. It's Monday. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that means that it's time for some YRDtv. I'm Rob Pasker, anchor for the Young Realtists division of NAREB's YRDtv. For you that don't know, I'm going to let you know, but I know most of y'all here are familiar. NAREB is an acronym for the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, which is the oldest and largest African-American real estate trade association in the country, comprised of over 90 local chapters across 35 states. The Young Realtists division of NAREB was founded in 1996 with the mission of redefining the real estate culture for tomorrow's leaders by empowering the youth and communities through wealth building, career exposure, mentorship, professional development, and leadership training. With YRDtv, we're excited to have the opportunity to provide a unique programming that will highlight and celebrate relevant information, policies, and real-life stories surrounding Black real estate in the United States. I love YRDtv because it gives us an opportunity to create a platform for our members, create a platform for our leaders. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. But before we bring on our special guests, I need you all to tap in, show some love, like, share, comment, whether you're on Facebook, whether on YouTube. Let us know that you're in the building because we love that energy. We love that reciprocity. And, if you got any questions, put them out there. We want to know where you're from. We want to know how you feel, represent. So with that being said, I have a very special guest this evening. He is the second vice president of NAREB. He is a past president of YRD, Mr. Ashley Thomas III. So Ashley Thomas is a financial professional from Los Angeles, California, and a veteran of the real estate and financial industry. Ashley is as a real estate and mortgage broker with First Security Investment Company Incorporated. He is a proud advocate and supporter of initiatives to increase the rate of homeownership within underserved communities, and he does great work. His mind is magnificent. I pick up gems from him anytime I'm in his presence, so I'm going to go ahead and bring him on. Mr. VP Ashley Thomas, what's going on, good sir?
Good evening.
Good evening. Oh man, a little choppy. We gonna work it out though. My good man, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling great, man. It's good to see you. Looking forward to seeing you in San Antonio.
Man, I can't believe that's be flying out Monday.
Right, it's around the corner.
But I'm pretty sure you be flying there earlier so you can get on the green, get on the link, do some golf.
Tuesday morning.
Oh, that's kind of late, man. I figured you'd be at the golf scramble bright and early, man, because you don't travel without them clubs.
I know.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Can you tell us a little bit about your real estate background and how you got into the real estate industry?
Yeah, absolutely. And I apologize for the breakup on the screen. I guess I'm frozen a little bit, but I'll keep it moving. So yeah, I really fell into this industry because I was working for a servicing company for mortgages, and we were doing a lot of approving modifications as well as short sales and different things like that. So anytime homeowners fell behind, it would come to our department and we would really try to work with them. And I just really decided that working with somebody in the fourth quarter was very challenging when you can try to help people upon their purchase, make responsible decisions, sustainable decisions, so that way they can pretty much keep their home and not fall into those problems. So that really sparked me to want to get in and really help people on the front side as opposed to the back end. And so that's how I got into it. I loved it, and I haven't changed since.
I got you. So it sounds like you came into it, starting off with advocacy, advocating for the people that needed help the most.
Absolutely.
So how about with that being said, can you tell us about your Realtist story? Like, what brought you to NAREB specifically?
Well, so I really ended up going to a mixer one evening There was a mixer, there was no plan and all of that. And he said, well, these are some like-minded brokers in Los Angeles, and you should meet them. So I went down there. Obviously, I beat everybody in dominoes, and then we started talking about the community and how, even though we were all independent brokers, how we could come together for the greater good of the community as well as our individual businesses. And so it just took off after that. I fell in love with the organization and what it stood for. So I wanted to just get into service and work on behalf of the community as much as I could. So I just couldn't get enough of it. And I've been here going on 13, 14 years now.
13, 14 years. It sounds like when you say 13, 14 years, it sounds like that's a long time. But, I know that that time goes fast, especially when you're busy, man. So you've been getting your hands dirty in the organization for a little minute. And at this point, you serve as the second vice president of NAREB at the national level. And so with that being said, I know you're heavily involved with political advocacy as a second vice president. What are some positions that NAREB is taking in regards to building Black wealth in America?
We took a different approach this year. Historically, we look at laws that impede homeownership, especially for community. And so this year, we're really starting to look at guidelines. Guidelines are things that can be done with the stroke of the pen. Policy, as we all know, can impact our businesses. It can impact, you could be a top performer and a policy changes that. And so we really wanted to look at guidelines. One of the first things that we looked at is down payment assistance. How can we put programs together that first-time home buyers, people that have been historically out of the marketplace, be able to get into the marketplace. And so one of the greatest barriers is down payment assistance. So we're really advocating for down payment assistance that's simple. There are a lot of programs out there that leave millions of dollars on the table here because the program isn't simple. It's not easy. It's not for the consumer. It's really a profit center. And so we're advocating against that. We really want to make sure that there's a program that allows people to access capital to purchase their home. So that's number one. Number two, a student loan reform is something that's huge that we really are trying to work on. And, in a nutshell, we asked our youth to go to college. We asked them to graduate. They do all of these things, and then student loans become a barrier to home ownership. And so we have to do a better job at identifying why that is and why over the years student loans continue to rise at a greater pace than incomes. And so that's a challenge for us that we want to definitely advocate against that. And then also within the loan programs, there's loan level price adjustments that really make access and mortgages more expensive. And then also we're talking about appraisal biases. So I won't go too deep into that, but appraisal biases, that's a big deal for us, making sure that we are valuing our properties fairly. That can be the difference if you have mortgage insurance on your loan or not. And so those are our 4 top advocacy positions that we're really focused on, and we have great relations with industry insiders and influencers. I think you'll see things come to fruition this year.
Absolutely. Well, that's the power in NAREB. There's power in numbers, and we have an organization full of real estate professionals who are passionate about, leveling the playing field, increasing Black home ownership, and building Black wealth. And so I just think it's magnificent that we have leaders like you at the helm who have identified issues, but have also formulated solutions. And these are solutions that they're not out the box solutions. They're common sense solutions that, we can get behind and push to see the changes that we want to see, in our local markets. So speaking about local markets, we just spoke about, advocacy at the macro national level. What are some things that Realtists can do in their local markets to make a difference?
Yeah, and I appreciate the question because I think that a lot of times when we think about advocacy, we think about what can I do to change the world, and it's not about that. It's really about moving forward progress. So on a local level, you know, anything that serves as a problem to the community deserves an advocate. And so as we talk about Realtists and what we serve for, you know, first let's identify what the issue is. What are the issues? You know, maybe in a Black neighborhood, there's no speed bumps, but in other neighborhoods there are. We find our children being hit by cars at a greater rate. That's an advocacy issue. That's something that you could say, why does this happen on that side of town, but not on this side of town? Second, you know, identifying who can change it. Is it really an issue, or is it something that was an issue in your last transaction? Is it something that's more widespread, or was this a one-off? So really going through and seeing what exactly it was. And then the last thing that I think is most important in advocacy is seeing the issue through. I wanted to tell you a quick story. Here in Los Angeles in 2010, we identified that there were very little, if not one or two, Black REO brokers, real estate owned, sold foreclosure properties for financial institutions. And so we had this big push where we all got together and said, well, we need to get on these lists. How can we sell foreclosure properties as well? So it was an advocacy effort, which we found that we were able to get 35 brokers locally on the list. And the key to this point is don't stop, because when we got approved onto the list, we were excited. We thought we had made a full circle in our effort, and then we started pulling up data. And then we started to look at data. You said, well, there's 35 brokers, and all of us combined don't equal one person that's on another side of town's volume. So why is that? And so advocacy is something that is evolving. Discrimination, racism, as we all know, evolves over the years. On one instance, you say, hey, this has changed, but, you know, it's become more sophisticated. So we have to really pay attention to it. You know what they say about recession? You don't know that you're in a recession until you have 6 straight months of falling incomes. So I think discrimination is the same way. Sometimes you don't even know that you're being discriminated against until you can take a step back and look at the entire picture. So locally, I think you have to look at what's going on, question everything, and until you're satisfied with the response.
I heard that. So I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity as well. I know that, you know, being able to stand as a realtist has, you know, put me in a position to advocate on my community, and also, you know, put me in spaces where otherwise there wouldn't be a voice representing, you know, people of color, that are underserved in regards to home ownership and wealth building. So I think it's important that we as realtors stand on that, you know, stand on this platform that's been built to make those moves, you know, identify the issues, and then push to create equity, you know, in our neighborhoods. So
Absolutely.
I mean, so when you're not advocating, when you're not activating your activism, man, you're a very busy man, a real estate broker and mortgage broker, and you've built a very successful business in Southern California. So for the realtors out there that are looking to take their career to the next level, on top of advocate, you know, what type of advice do you have for
them? For me, you know, delegation and inclusion is so important. Building a team. I'm only as strong as my team is. I travel a lot with the organization, but I'm only able to do that just because I have a very strong support team and staff around me. I think that's very important to really pay attention to. A lot of times we hold on to a dollar, but we don't realize that we're losing thousands of dollars, you know? So you gotta hire staff, you gotta hire people and invest in them, so that way you can be able to move more freely. And I think investing in your systems, your technology is so important. And so hopefully during the pandemic shutdown, a lot of us were able to like reevaluate our businesses and make different moves. But, if there's anything I could say in business, it's, give that dollar up so you can make 1,000 more. Stop holding on with a closed fist thinking that you're going to grow when you're not doing the necessary steps to expand your company. And so that's my advice. I think we all are at different levels in terms of where we're at. I'm always trying to grow and learn from anyone, older, younger. If it's a jewel, I'm gonna take it and try to apply it to my business.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the biggest things I got: teamwork makes the dream work, delegation, team building, but also employing technology to help leverage.
Absolutely.
That's key, man. So what's up? Let me ask you this: what does YRD mean to you? I know you're a past president of YRD, and you've ascended into vice presidency. What does YRD mean to you?
YRD just means it's a great entry into the organization. I remember coming to my first convention, not really knowing anybody except the people in my local. So YRD gave a good platform to meet individuals from across the country, and really speak to NAREB and how to make moves, and then it was always great from a social aspect as well, because when you go to a convention you really don't know anybody, it's good to link up with YRD. They'll tell you where to go that evening for where the event is going on and what's going on. So YRD has been great entrance for me into the organization, and you guys call me, there's nothing I wouldn't do for any affiliate, but my heart goes out to YRD just because I was able to serve in that affiliate specifically.
No doubt, no doubt. I know we appreciate you and your guidance. I know you're at the national level, but you still put your hand in and guide us when we need it. So with that being said, man, we appreciate your time. Do you have anything else for the people?
No, apparently my system is very choppy, so I apologize for that. But everybody know where to find me, and I look forward to seeing anybody that's in San Antonio to further this conversation. But definitely, let's iron sharpens iron. So be around people that can help sharpen you and your business.
Absolutely, but I'm gonna tell you what. I mean, the video choppy, the audio solid though. So we got the audio, and guess what, man? We're gonna run it back. We'll run it back. But in the meantime, I will be seeing you next week. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing the whole Realtors fam. With that being said, but I know it's about going on 6:30 out where you're at in California. So I know you still got time to make some money. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and get to it. But we appreciate you tapping in with us always.
No problem. I appreciate you. Have a good evening.
Yeah, you too, brother. Thank you.